How many times have you gone to the beach only to find the surf conditions are rubbish? Completely not what you expected and somewhat uninspiring. Sure, it's all part of being a surfer and utilising the ocean, but from a surf progression standpoint, it doesn't quite offer what you need. It's an age-old frustration and it's completely outside your control. Until now. Wave pools have changed surfing forever, and we are lucky enough to live in a time to benefit. I've been coaching at Urban Surf in Melbourne for the past few weeks, and the joy, quantity of waves, and huge progression that I've seen from my surfers has been nothing short of incredible. Wave pools are here to stay. Tonight, I'm taking you guys behind the scenes in a private wave pool session. We're going to get the scoop on how wave pools have changed surfing forever. This video is brought to you by the Surfer's Roadmap, your go-to for all your surf progression. Check it out at the link in the description below. Since doing our big board test and everything like that, I haven't really had enough time in the water. I know it's looked like that, but I feel like I've needed that repetition aspect that only the wave pool can bring. I'm going to meet up with a couple of friends of mine and we're going to spend a couple of hours in the pool. It's going to be fun.
So walking in, so this is pretty cool. Where's the barrels at?
So you might need to
Welcome
go
back to my
pretty
vlog.
close.
Like that.
Okay.
I'm so proud to be part of Kale's vlog.
Oh, see, there you go. Oh, I told him to say hello. Get the hello.
Hey, how you going? Settings might vary depending on the wind, so particularly with intermediate and advanced, we've got slight variations with onshore and offshore.
Yeah.
The wave is more exposed to the offshore than the onshore, which is really different to the ocean.
Yeah.
It's been offshore. So I think it's really interesting. I think the easy answer is the driving range for surfers analogy. You just get this consistency. So consistency of speed, consistency of transition, and consistency of repetition. So the waves have that consistency that allow you to really practice as opposed to perform, which is sort of, different to what a lot of waves allow. But for the average intermediate surfer, being able to access good waves on a regular basis with a consistent sort of shape to the waves, you just see the acceleration in development for surfers from first timers all the way through to the elite.
Yeah, the advantages for a wave pool is incredible. You get to replicate the maneuvers you're trying to do in the ocean, and you get to feel over and over what you're feeling in that turn. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Just trying to get the feeling of each turn and the technique. More just the fine details. Like sometimes it can be a little bit difficult because it's still, although it's a wave pool, you come here thinking every wave's the exact same, but sometimes it can be a little bit different. But I think the finer details, the technique, it's perfect for it. And yeah, I'd spend a lot of time down here trying to improve my technique. So.
Tube riding, manoeuvre training, wave pools have become my go-to for my own and my clients' surf progression thanks to that control over the conditions. But wave repetition isn't the only feature that makes a wave pool such an incredible environment for surf progression.
Where we're really seeing, I think, the opportunity for progression in people surfing is that it's far more accessible, and it's also a much more fair place to come for a surf. Here, you line up, it's your turn, there's no stress, people are stoked for you, people are supportive, and I think it's that environment as much as the waves that can really help people learn to surf.
As surfers, we're all guilty of trying to maximise our own wave count in any given session, and quite naturally, more experienced surfers often get more waves due to better positioning strategies and crowd negotiation skills. In the wave pool though, you experience one of the most democratic lineups you could imagine, and demographics who would typically struggle in the ocean to claim great waves, such as beginners or young grommets, now get an equal share. It seems like every time I scroll through my social media now, I see a new wave pool has popped up somewhere in the world. Air sections seem to be becoming the norm. Longer barrels, bigger, steeper waves, everything is on the table as we move closer and closer to a point where the ocean is really being replicated in a pool. The big question though is, where does all this go?
I think anyone that can predict the future of wave pools is probably either lying or is trying to sell you something. As I mentioned, we've only just started to get data on who our customer is and how they like to interact with the park. And, we'll be able to make better decisions for the Sydney project. We'll be able to continue to create better spaces and waves for people based on that data.
There will always be the salty demographic of surfers who dismiss a wave pool as kooky or irrelevant, and that's expected. If I've learned anything working in this space, it's that surfers and the surfing industry are always suffering at their own doing, their own too coolness. What will be interesting though is if an entirely new surfer gets born out of this, someone who doesn't live near the coast, someone who learns and progresses only at the wave pool. Never in history could someone build their 10,000 hours so quickly.
And I think there's always going to be a place for the ocean in surfing, particularly here in Australia. Here I think we always will be, to a certain extent, a pathway to the ocean. But yeah, there's definitely going to be people that for a healthy chunk of their early days won't be in the ocean, and we just have to make sure that they understand the differences in the way that they sort of interact with the lineup and the culture once they get down there.